We moved into this house last year, and one of the first things we discovered back there behind us was an abandoned pizza oven.
It's an absolute mess, but today we're going to transform the oven back to its former glory and hopefully have pizzas for tea.
Fingers crossed. It is a real shame because this garden was once well loved, I think. Not by the last owners, I think by the owners before them. It's just not really been well maintained, as you can see with what's going on around us.
We're hoping to turn this area into the heart of the garden. I can see us having a glass of wine over here, we've got the pizzas cooking, all our fresh fruit and veg growing over here. It's the dream, isn't it?
All depends on if this pizza oven works, and we'll find that out today. So to think that there was once a family or two that used to congregate in this area, make a couple of pizzas and then have it for lunch or dinner. I can't quite see it myself because of the state this area's in. So what do we have to do, Mrs. S?
Okay, well, inside the oven is absolutely filthy, so I think that will be, we'll definitely want to have a clear out in there.
There's a couple of snails and whatnot in there. There's a free tray though, so that's quite good.
Okay, yeah, we don't want any snails on our pizzas. There's lots of leaves on the floor, so we'll just want to have a good sweep. I assume this is where like the pizzas would be prepared. There's a lot of junk on here. There's also this really big overgrown bush, so we'll want to cut that right back. So we've got somewhere to make the pizzas. There's ivy growing all over it, so we'll want to cut all of that back as well.
Well, I think we've got the pressure washer out, so we'll give it a good pressure wash as well. But those are the bad things about it. The good things is that it's actually looks like a good structure. I reckon it probably cost a pretty penny to install by whoever installed it. You know, it's a good sturdy thing, so I'm looking forward to tidying it up. It's a little bit Jumanji back here. There's a flue here that's been absolutely taken over by this ivy. So there's the flue top here, and then the flue goes down there. Oof. Doesn't look too bad actually. There's a few cobwebs, but there's no ivy growing in it. So I think once we, don't want to break that. I think once we take all this ivy off, which will be a bit of a challenge, it should tidy up this area quite nicely, and it should have a working flue. Yep.
Well done, Joey. So now we've got most of the ivy off and we've trimmed back this bush that was growing here. Just going to try and get most of this moss off. Some of it's growing inside the bricks, and give this worktop down here a good scrub with the brush.
So it does look like this wall here is drywall, I think. So we were wondering whether the ivy was helping to keep it all together, because it's quite loose, but hopefully it should stay in place. It looks like it's been here for a good few years, so hopefully it'll just stay here as it is.
So now we're going to clear inside of the oven. It probably looks worse than it actually is. It's not looking like somewhere I'd want to cook food in at the moment, but it just really needs a good brush. when we actually light the fire, the heat from the fire is going to get so hot it'll sanitize the inside. So let's get to work.
Well, I don't think there's too much to do left before we can light the fire. We need to clear up all this mess on the floor, there's quite a lot of it, and stick it on the compost pile.
Okay, so we're making really good progress. Not too much left to do. How do you think it's looking, Mr. Sheffield?
Pretty good. You know, we've cut back a lot of the bush, cleared up all the mess that was under here.
You can see that it's a pizza oven now.
You can see that it's a pizza oven. There was a whole load of leaves and soil underneath. A few cracks as well. Don't know what that means.
But it's a bit touch and go as to whether we're making pizzas today. All depends on whether or not the smoke comes out of the chimney and not out of the sides, I guess.
Yeah, there's quite a lot of water, quite a lot of snails inside the oven. So yeah, we shall see. You've got a brush there.
I have. This is for our flue, so we're going to give that a quick clean.
Now for the fun part. Let the spraying begin.
Great job with the old pressure washer there, Mr. Sheffield.
Yep. Dirty work. Is my face dirty?
Filthy.
Yeah, I think I can see a few black specks on my nose. So we've not gone completely ham on the jet washing because bits of mortar are quite fragile. So I didn't want it to all come off, especially on the floor and around the front of the oven. So I've given it a light clean, but I think it's come out quite nice.
Yeah, looks lovely.
So what's next now then?
Now is the bit we've all been waiting for. We're gonna light fire in it.
See if it's working. Let's get to it.
Okay.
The moment of truth.
Ring on the camera, don't try this. So we finally got our fire going. To get the fire started, we built a small tower at the front. We pushed the tower back to the middle once it was lit.
So I've got this digital thermometer or infrared thermometer, and you point your laser in the wall of the oven to read the temperature, and it's supposed to get to 500 degrees Celsius. At the moment it's at 200, so about halfway. So we reckon it's going to take about an hour to get to temperature, and that's going to sanitize the oven as well. Don't rate us on our fire making abilities, because we're Sheffield Made Gardens and not Sheffield Made fire starting, aren't we?
Oh, true, yeah. We have to work on our fire building skills if we want to eat lots of pizzas.
So we were going to make some pizzas, but running out of daylight here because it's taken us so long to get all this sorted. So we'll come back tomorrow for lunch with the kids and have a pizza.
Looking forward to it.
Well, I think there's a few teething problems that we might have to figure out because there's a lot of smoke coming out of the front of the oven. Still can't believe that we made pizzas in our oven for lunch.
Yeah, and they were delicious, weren't they?
They were indeed.
If you want to see more of our garden and the hidden treasures we found, then you can check out the garden tour video here.